All right, guys, welcome to the Hunter's Quest. This is Hunter McWaters, and today I'm going to do a really quick and dirty little gear dump video for you guys. I really wasn't planning on doing this because stuff has been crazy around here, but I wanted to just go through some of the stuff I'm bringing on this Alaska trip because I know it might be helpful to some of you guys out there. And again, like I said, it's going to be quick and dirty, so just forgive me, but I'm going to run through this stuff as we go. So here we go. I'll just start with what I got right in front of me. This year I am running these Crispy Altitude GTX boots with sheep feet in them. I like the sheep feet, and these boots have a similar fit and feel to the Ativa mids, which I like, but they have a lot more support and a little bit more stiffness. I don't know about the durability yet because I haven't worn them. Heard good things, but I like the fit and the feel. So those that I'm rocking this year as far as boots. Rest of my clothing is concerned, pretty much wear the same stuff on all my hunts these days. I have the Kuiu zip-off merino bottoms. I have some Katana stretch woven pants, and then I'm also bringing my Axis hybrid pants that are a little bit warmer. And then I got synthetic base layers and a like a mid layer, like a Stone Glacier fleece. I don't have it right here in front of me. Some, like I said, synthetic base layers, and then I'll bring puffies and rain gear. So that's pretty much that. Continuing just right here on the table. So I'm not bringing a spotting scope because my partner is bringing his spotting scope. This is what I would bring. This is a Leupold Tactical, which one is this? It's a 12 to 40, but my partner John is bringing his Leupold spotter. So I wanted to just show you that. It's a great little compact, lightweight spotter, but we're only gonna bring one spotter between the two of us this year, and he's bringing it. So next, I got a little first aid kit. This is from MyMedic Pro. They just sent this to me. Sorry, not MyMedic Pro, just MyMedic. But this is a MyFac Sidekick. Really small, compact, lightweight, good for these backcountry type trips. Now this trip I didn't mention before, but we're going up the Ivashak River with Dead Horse Outfitters. The kicker is we're going to be floating out on our own. So a lot of my gear is more similar to a backcountry hunt, although it's not truly backcountry. Since we're floating out, I got to keep it as lightweight as possible. So it's kind of a unique trip. I have sort of a lot of gear, but not a ton. So anyway, MyMedic has different sizes of first aid kits. I'm probably going to bring this one. This is a MyFac Sidekick. Also, I always have Leuko tape. Always have plenty of 550. I'm gonna I have backup water purification tablets in here, vitamins and supplements, replaceable blades, lighters, flossers, all kinds of good stuff in there. I'm gonna organize that a little bit more, but that's kind of like first aid type stuff. This is sort of like a little camp bag. These are one of these little Stone Glacier camp bags, but I have some Graxaw boot dryers just in case things get soggy. Fingerless gloves from Black Ovis. Wind checker. This is some bug spray that's lemon and eucalyptus. This time of year the mosquitoes can be really bad up there, and it's non-toxic. SteriPen. I think this is called the SteriPen Adventurer, but I've pretty much gone to SteriPen for all my trips. It's just convenient, it's easy, and you don't have to worry about, filters. Sometimes they get clogged, or if they freeze, they don't work. I just kind of like the SteriPen. So I got my Petzl headlamp, mosquito head net, very important for Alaska. Always got my little travel Bible, journal, and pen. I do have some 100 DEET mosquito in case I need to go like DEFCON 5 the mosquitoes, but it's a little tiny bottle of 100% DEET, just in case. Some playing cards, in case we gotta pass some time, and I always carry a little salt and pepper and spice mix, some garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper, and then some salt in here. just for cooking stuff up. You know, there should be ptarmigan, and then Lord willing, some caribou up there and some fish as well. Get to that stuff later, but have a little bit of seasoning, goes a long way. Some extra batteries and whatnot in there, but that's kind of my little camp bag. All right, moving on from there, I'll take you through really quick basically what I'm gonna take for food for a day. I'm gonna experiment with something I've been seeing guys do online recently, which is vacuum sealing. I did do a little test. So these two things right here are the same meal. One is vacuum sealed, one is not. To be honest with you, I really don't know if it's worth the time and effort. It is a little bit smaller, but I don't know, not much. So to be honest with you, I'm probably not gonna dump out all my meals and vacuum seal it. I think that's a little bit overboard. Maybe some guys have a little too much time on their hands, but if you wanna do it, you can do it. I do, however, think it's kind of smart to vacuum seal the whole day's meal into one. I think that will be a pretty good space saving. So basically, I'm gonna be having, you know, a meal, a full-on meal. This is a Peak Refuel. Heather's Choice is great too. They have great breakfasts and dinners. You can use the code QUEST at Heather's Choice and save there. Get some really healthy stuff. These aren't probably quite as healthy, but I like them. I take these little Japanese snacks with me. My buddy Luke turned me on to these ramen noodles. I usually bring 2 of these and then a pack of Lona Life bone broth and make myself some ramen for lunch, especially in those cold days. It's great. I like either Heather's Choice for breakfast or these Quaker protein oatmeals. 2 of these, this is the banana nut flavor. 2 of those are pretty hard to beat. And then I pack some supplements. So one thing I'm excited to talk to you guys about, I haven't really announced it yet, but I just became an ambassador for Mountain Ops. So I always have Ignite and Slumber in my daily stuff. I'm also gonna be using their hydration packets this year. They have a couple other really great products. I'm gonna be using their creatine, their pre-workout. But anyway, I've been using Mountain Ops for a long time. They're good stuff, they're good people, and if you use the code QUEST now at Mountain Ops, you're gonna save 20% and you will be helping me as well. So when you're gearing up, if you're listening to this, if you like Mountain Ops, please use my code. I know you got other people's codes you can use, options to choose from. I guarantee you they're making more money than I am, so use mine. Use the code QUEST at Mountain Ops, save 20%, help me out, please. Anyway, I also put some single serve honey in there, a single serve peanut butter. And this year I'm gonna throw in a bagel in there. I found that it's a little harder to carry like fresh breads like that, but I think with vacuum sealing it, it'll be fine. And it's really nice to have some like chewy, bready, carby stuff to eat when all you're getting is like, you know, dehydrated meals and like bars and stuff. Having some like bread is like really nice. So I'm gonna experiment with bringing some bread. Also have some beef sticks. I'm gonna throw some cheese, single serving Tillamook cheeses in there, and a couple of things. So like I said, it's quick and dirty, so I'm not going super into detail, but that's basically what I got in my food. Let's just move on to the pack here. Like I said, every hunt I go on, pretty much every single hunt I go on, I got my KUIU Super Down Pro puffies. This is the top and bottom. As you see, they can fold up really nice into their own pocket. Very lightweight, very warm, very comfortable. I always have those. I am a wet wipes guy, so I make sure I bring plenty of these combat wipes. You can get them on Amazon. They're biodegradable. And I usually find that about 50 is good for like a 10-day hunt. Kind of depends on you, but I'm carrying 50 plus a couple extras that I just had. Next is my sleep system. I got a Thermarest. I think it's a Neolite. I think it's, yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, Thermarest, yeah, Neo Air XL. Ultralight, I can't remember what it's called. It's the yellow one. Neolite. It's a great pad. I've had it since I started hunting and it's still going strong. I always bring 2 inflatable pillows with me, one for between the legs and one under the head because I'm a side sleeper. But I keep it all in this so I know I got my sleep system all ready to go in here. And here's a good tip. Carry your sleep system on with you, okay? Don't put it in your luggage, put it in your carry-on. That way, if and when you get stuck in an airport, which is very likely to happen, or you got a long layover, bust out your pad and you can just sleep wherever you're at. Moving on from there, that's camera gear. I will just mention this real quick. I think I mentioned it before. Very versatile little piece here if you're carrying a camera around with you. It's called a Domkey protective wrap. You can just throw it on top of your camera body or whatever to give yourself a little padding. I love that thing. But as far as my chest rig here, I got this, it's a Leupold chest rig, but I think it's made by Marsupial Gear, a private label dealer for Leupold. But what's important is inside. I'm going to be taking with me these BX4 Pro Guide 12x50s from Leupold. They're great binoculars, good in low light, very clear, and I like having 12s on a tripod. So I will bring these guys, and since I like having my tripod, I got this Leupold adapter thing. I don't know the official name for it, but basically this goes into your plate holder on your tripod, and your binoculars slip right onto there, as you can see. And then you can glass comfortably from a tripod, which is my preferred method, is glassing from a tripod. But the 12s are still not so much magnification that you can't just pop them up and do a little glassing by hand as well. So, you know, it's big country in Alaska. I think 12s are a good way to go. It's kind of personal preference though. I always have chapstick, especially for Alaska. You do not want to go without chapstick. Inside here I have a multi-tool, an extra lighter with duct tape around the handle, and this is just got a bunch of different Allen keys in it, you know, for my scope, my tripods, different little things. I just basically took an old pill bottle, wrapped some Gorilla Tape around it to have some extra tape, and threw in all kinds of different Allen keys I might need, and then a replaceable head screwdriver with a couple different screwdriver heads. So make sure you have tools to do any kind of little adjustments on your bow or your rifle once you get out there. You just want to be able to make sure you can fix stuff. As far as rangefinder, I am using this Leupold RX 2800 rangefinder. It's a great little rangefinder. Make sure when you're traveling, you always take the battery out of your rangefinder before you travel, and then make sure you got a battery and usually a spare with you. But I have forgotten to do that in the past, and your rangefinder will get, the button will get clicked on, and you get there and your rangefinder's dead. So always take the battery out and bring a spare. That's kind of my optics rig. Also gonna bring, just for extra installation, a KUIU Super Down vest. So, if you got a base layer, a good mid layer, and good puffies and rain gear, you're pretty much set for just about anything, In the lid right now, obviously I've got my rain fly for my pack. That's an essential piece for Alaska. If you're going to Alaska, don't forget you need to have a license, locking tags, and a harvest ticket. Don't forget those. And I put those things in my carry-on like weeks in advance, so they're there. I don't forget them. Here's my Stone Glacier mid layer. It's the, I don't remember what this piece is actually called, but it's just their fleece, hooded fleece mid layer. I love it, to be honest. I have it in 3 different colors. It's good stuff. lastly, may not need them in Alaska, but you never know. I always bring them on trips just in case. Leupold optics, sunglasses. These are the Bridger model, super slick. And I have pretty sensitive eyes. I have like blue eyes, and I was wearing these things constantly during spring break because of the snow and sun. And you know, if you're out there days on end, especially if it's windy, sunny, I like having sunglasses, and these Leupold sunglasses are legit. So get you some of those. The pack itself, Stone Glacier 7900. I really like Initial Ascent packs as well, but until recently, they didn't have a pack this big. Now, Stone Glacier did just come out with their 8K. I'm sorry, Initial Ascent just came out with their 8K pack. So I've said before, their frame is ridiculously good. I still use my Initial Ascent frame on every training hike I do. I just went with this stone because I needed the size, but now Initial Ascent has an 8K. So hopefully, maybe I'll be able to try one of those out at some point, and I'll let you know. But I don't have one right now, so right now I'm still using my Stone Glacier 7900. And then I got a GSI Microlight insulated water bottle. Said it before many times, but it's nice having an insulated bottle, keep things cold or hot. And if it's really cold, you know, it'll keep it from freezing, your stuff from freezing. So, all right, moving on. Got a lot of stuff. In my suitcase, so on the trip, we can bring one 120 liter dry bag, which mine's only 100 liter, but my frame pack and, you know, rifle and everything else. They're also allowing us to bring our pack rafts because we're floating out, obviously. So, like I said, I'm bringing a little bit of extra stuff, but there's a lot of gear, guys, that I'm bringing on this trip. So I'm going to try to move through this fast. But as far as cooking, you know, I've been using this Toaks 750 milliliter titanium cup and a MSR pocket rocket on every single trip I've been on in my entire Western hunting career. Using the same one. It's a little dented up, but it works. Super lightweight. I did pick up this MSR 8-inch little frying pan because when you're back there on this type of trip, if you can carry a little bit of extra stuff, it is pretty lightweight. And you know, I plan on doing some ptarmigan hunting and some fishing while we're out there as well. So I want to be able to cook those up, and hopefully be cooking some caribou tenderloins. So that's kind of my cooking setup. And then of course a long spoon, which I don't know where that is right now, but I need to make sure I get that. For this hunt, I will be taking this. This is like a cot, you know, one of those backpacking type cots. This is just the Amazon brand Marchway. I don't know, it's probably Chinese made, but you know, whatever, it works. It's basically a Helionox cot, but it's not the Helionox brand. It's just this Amazon brand. I think it's like half the price, so. Sorry, Helionox, but I'm getting that one. So like I mentioned, I'm not a huge fisherman, but the fishing is so good where we're going, I want to kind of experience the whole thing. So I decided I'm going to bring a fishing rod. So this is called a Trailmaster by Eagle Claw. It folds up nice. I got 6-pound test on there, which is what my buddies in Alaska recommended. And plenty of these like small spoons, little rooster tails, those are good. And these things, I can't remember what they're called, but they're kind of like famous Alaska lures. It's basically just like a spoon and a little metal body and a treble hook. Really good for grayling and I think, what's the other one? Char, I think. So we'll see. Just throw those in there. Hopefully get a chance to do some fishing. Okay, shelter. Alaska, shelter is a big deal. It's one thing you do not want to scrimp on. Normally I'd be running a floorless teepee type shelter. In Alaska, no way. I am going full send Hilleberg. This is a Namaj 2 GT. This is an excellent shelter. I've used it in Kodiak. I've used it in the Southwest. It's a 2-person shelter. Basically, this thing's bomb-proof. It's a Hilleberg, so it's bomb-proof. 4-season tent. It's got a nice front entrance, which I like, and it has, my favorite part is a huge vestibule, big enough to put your camp chair in and eat a meal in, store your gear. So I can literally wake up, get out into the vestibule, make my breakfast, put my boots on while sitting on a chair, or if the weather's bad and I want to eat my meal and not get rained on, but not go into my tent. Like I said, I'll show you my chair. You can bust out your chair and just sit there and just chill. So you have a little outdoor chill space basically in the vestibule, and then a nice bomb-proof shelter. Like when I'm in Alaska, I want to know if it gets weird that I can have basically an oasis, like a solace, and I'm just going to sleep tight knowing I have a great shelter that can withstand anything pretty much Alaska can throw at me. So that's Hilleberg, and I'm kind of working with them a little bit this year as an ambassador. Super excited to be doing that. They sent me another shelter called an Altai for one of my upcoming hunts. But if you want the best tents there are that can withstand anything, spend a little extra, get a Hilleberg, especially if you're going to Alaska or somewhere hardcore. My backcountry kill kit always have on me is Argali meat on bone large game pack. They make smaller game bags, but I always carry this one just because you can wash them and reuse them, and they're big enough for an elk, so they're good for caribou. They're good for anything. In here I have Havalon replaceable blade and I have an Argali knife as well, and I have a Silky Saw. Can't remember which one it's called. The small Silky Saw. Just a little hand saw. Won't be cutting much firewood in Alaska or any, but it's good for ribs, sternums, whatever. It's just good to have. So kill kit, you got replaceable blades, Havalon, fixed blade, saw, game bags, and it's all in here compact and ready to go. Of course, I've always got extra 550, especially for this trip, because we're going to be, hopefully packing caribou heads onto the front of our pack rafts. Another thing that I just always take with me, and it's worth investing in, this is a Z-Packs Dyneema tarp. And always tie your 550 cord onto this thing before you get out in the field. It's a pain in the butt to do in the field. So make sure you got plenty of 550 in there for your corners. Again, it's not cheap, but it'll last you, and it's just a piece of gear you kind of just good to set up while you're glassing, or if something does happen, you need an impromptu shelter, it's just, you got that right there. This is my camp/glassing chair. Now this is from a company called Mulebex. I hope I'm saying that right. Mulebex. I can't remember exactly, or I don't know exactly how to spell it, but my friend from college actually started this company and sent me a couple of these chairs. I've been a really bad friend and haven't had a podcast with them or anything yet, but it's a really nice camp chair, folds up nice and small, rock solid, and it's camo, and it's very well made, comes with this nice bag, and again, like I said, one of my college buddies is making them, so it's legit. I would definitely recommend checking them out. They have bigger chairs and smaller ones, and a couple other products as well. And they are good stuff, so check them out. Mulebex. Mulibex is the brand. I think I talked about it before, but my buddy Dan over at Two Vets Sporting Goods is making a tripod for me and for his customers based on my specifications. It's not ready yet, but I basically, when I was looking for a tripod, I wanted the smallest and lightest, but still sturdy tripod I could find. I need a center column, because if you've glassed on tripods, you kind of get it set up and you need those little micro adjustments you can't like adjust the legs every time you want to like move it up or down a little bit. So you need a center column. And I also was looking for a tripod that at its maximum deployable height, I could actually glass standing up. I hate when you have a tripod and you still have to like bend over to glass if you want to glass standing. So until Dan finishes that new tripod he's gonna send me, this is what I'm rocking right now. It's Leofoto Urban LX 284 CT. And like I said, I've used it on a couple trips this year. It's light, I can glass standing up, it has a center column, and it's pretty well made. And this is also Leofoto tripod head as well. So that's what I'm rocking right now, Leofoto. And you know, although it is like a Chinese company or whatever, they do have offices in the US. Oh, I was gonna say, they have a dedicated rifle department. So they're not like, they may not be, you know, I'd rather be supporting a full-on American company like Two Vets Tripods, and I will be eventually going back to them. But in the meantime, at least they're not anti. They have actually a whole section on their website devoted to like rifle tripods. So that's good. Luckily, water will not be a problem on this trip, but in order to carry water back and forth to camp, I'm gonna bring one of these MSR 6-liter water bladders, so I don't have to go to the river every time I want water. So yeah, that's good to have. This extremely important piece of gear, Alpaca Raft Ranger, okay? Originally, Alpaca Raft sent me a mule. I personally own a Caribou. They're all great rafts, but I wanted a bigger raft for this trip because we got quite a bit of gear. It's gonna be a long float and it's Alaska and I don't wanna mess around. So Alpaca Rafts was kind enough to send me a Loner Ranger. I tested it at my pool. It is self-bailing, which is nice and is important. However, you kinda need some waders because otherwise your butt gets wet. I'm just being honest. So the mule and the Caribou are not self-bailing and you can sit in there and you won't get wet. This thing has holes in the bottom of it. So I tested it with rain pants and I still got a little water down the back of my butt. So that's a whole nother rabbit hole, but basically I'll show you later. I went with some ultralight waders that I'm gonna wear on the way out, and they're chest waders. I decided it was more important for me to have the larger boat and also invest in the waders than mess around with having too small of a craft. So this one's got plenty of room for gear. As with any Alpaca Raft, you can stuff gear and meat inside the actual tubes, which is amazing. So 90% of my gear and meat will go in the actual tubes of the raft, but I still have plenty of room for my pack and, Lord willing, a huge bullhead in the front. So this is a Ranger. Again, Alpaca Rafts, great rafts. It's a great option for just increasing your reach and capability to hunt. Just make sure you pick the right raft for the right situation. On that note, well, I'll show you my paddle here in a second. So that's everything in my suitcase. All right. Now, the rest of my stuff is in this Yeti 100-liter Panga. These are amazing bags. I tried to get in touch with somebody at Yeti. I haven't been able to yet. I'd love to work with them if you're out there. I'd love to work with you guys. But anyway, Yeti Pangas are pretty much bomb-proof. They're like, you can submerge them. They're waterproof. You want to have dry bags in Alaska. Just trust me. And I've bought the cheap Amazon ones for my last Alaska trip. And while they did serve their purpose, they lasted one trip and broke. I have much higher expectations for these Yeti Pangas. I haven't used this one yet. I've used the smaller ones, but it seems pretty bomb-proof. I got my Barnes Bullets hoodie, beanie. Always want to bring a beanie, even if it's going to be early season. I'm bringing this Low Pro soft bag for my camera. for when I'm out there to be able to throw it in something. I can fit this inside my Stone Glacier, just because it's always raining up there. I just want to have somewhere I can throw it, put it in my pack, not worry about it, and it's not just, you know, floating around inside my pack. I'm bringing a couple of these extra just dry bags. One of them's a Stone Glacier, one's just the REI, just for clothes, food, whatever. Like I said, it's just always good to have extra dry bags in Alaska because you never know where you're gonna be and it's gonna start raining. These things, this is not a fashion statement, although it is highly fashionable. It's like this little scarf thing. These things serve a ton of purposes. I mean, it could be camo, it could be a makeshift tourniquet, it's a scarf, you know, you could clean stuff with it, dry stuff with it. These are pretty handy to have. There's a reason why people in the desert carry these, and it's not just to look cool. So I'll probably bring this guy, but yeah. Anyway, rain gear. I got KUIU rain gear. It's served me well. It's Katana Storm Shell rain gear. Again, I got the Axis Hybrid pants. They're great to have when it's a little colder out. And still got some trash in here from Spring Bear. This year, I'm rocking some Outdoor Research Crocodile Gaiters. Yeah, not much to say there. They're just gaiters, and they are pretty bomb-proof. So these are size medium. Anyway, gaiters. Gotta have gaiters in Alaska. Camera, rain gear, gotta have it. So I like to put my extra clothes. These are the only clothes I'm bringing beside what I'm wearing on my body on the trip. Okay, and puffies. But it's, let's see, I think I did actually. There is an extra pair of pants in here, my long underwear pants, underwear, socks, and like one extra shirt. You know, a lot of times these days I don't bring any extra clothes on hunts. I just go in with what I'm wearing, that's it. Alaska's a little bit different of an animal. You never know if somebody could fall in a river or who knows. You know, I'm not hiking in, so I figured I could spare this much room for what ifs. You know, you don't want to be soaking wet, because that is one thing. If you do get soaking wet in Alaska, you're not drying out pretty much ever. So I am gonna use my 15-degree bag on this trip. I think it's plenty. It could get colder. You know, we're gonna be going into the first week of September in the North Slope, but we'll be at pretty low elevation, and I figure if it's really cold, I'll just throw my puffies on. So this is just a Marmot 15-degree bag. It served me well. It's got a few holes in it from stoves, but duct taped her up and she's pretty good to go. So it's a good bag. I'd like to try a Stone Glacier bag, because I like supporting hunting companies when I can, or a KUIU, but when I was in the market, they were sold out. I needed a bag, so I just grabbed those. If you're gonna buy gear that's not a hunting brand, buy it at Black Ovis or Camo Fire. Support hunting brands. This is my Storm Shell. I always like to size up on my rain jackets. That way I can wear it on top of my puffy and not have to be too snug. So this is an XL. I normally would wear a large, but I got XL, so I can wear it on top of my puffy, no problem. And there's a lot of different options out there for ultralight waders. I went with these because they were the best value. These are Frog Tog. I can't remember what they're called. Let's see. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it. But this is the Frog Tog ultralight packable waders. And again, if you're using an Alpaca Ranger or one of the other self-bailing models, I recommend getting yourself a set of ultralight chest waders to keep your bum dry. So that's what I'm doing for that. Real quick, for you other camera nerds out there, I'll just run through it. I'm bringing fast camera gear wise. 2 A7S III bodies. 24 Sony G Master 24 to 105. Obviously, I've got my Peter McKinnon Polar Pro variable ND filters. I have these Sony XLR, I think they're called like XLR KM1 XLR adapters for audio. And then I'm bringing this beast, which is my Sony G Master 2 to 600. And of course the 2X teleconverter that will turn that into a 4 to 1200. Backup microphones, iCups, you can go on Amazon. And I'll probably bring the lens I'm shooting on right now as well. It's a wide, it's a 18 to 27, I believe. And I always carry my camera gear on the flight with me. I'll put locks on here, and if for some reason they tell me I gotta check it, it's a Pelican, don't gotta worry about it, fine, take it. But I always carry it on. Let's see, okay. Lastly, I got my rifle case over here. And there's quite a bit of stuff in there. So let me pull it out for you. So I like to, if I can, have two tripods, one, so that I can be shooting long range footage and still glassing at the same time. This one has got my Sirui gimbal head on it for shooting footage, but it's the same exact tripod as the other one. So these are my Lecky, whatever, carbon speed lock trekking poles. I have tried other trekking pole brands. I will not name which one, but I tried another brand that is somewhat popular in the hunting community, and I broke 2 of them in one trip. These, on the other hand, I've never broken during a hunting trip. So I'm gonna keep rocking these Leckys. Sorry. I always wrap a little extra tape around them in case I need it, but those are my trekking poles and I like them. All right, as far as my paddles go, I want to say thank you to Aquabound for sending me some paddles. This is actually not the paddle they sent me, this is the one I bought on my own. It's a little bit lighter than the ones they sent me, but this is an Aquabound Whiskey. Great lightweight paddle for what we're doing. So check out Aquabound if you are pack rafting or any kind of lightweight rafting or whatever. They're a great company. They sent me a couple paddles for free, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I debated it, but I'm gonna bring Bear pistol, Glock 20, 10 millimeter. It's got a TLR 1 HL by Streamlight on there. Really good weapon light. Has a strobe mode as well, which I get, there we go. So this is also my home defense pistol as well. But I love this thing. In my opinion, it's the best bear gun because I got, 16 shots instead of 6. And I find the Glock platform much more accurate and easier to shoot than a revolver. And more bullets is better, as far as I'm concerned. Black Point Tactical holster. Thank you, Black Point Tactical, for sending me this. Now, of course, I have my Seekins Precision Havoc Element, which I use on all my hunts until they send me a new one, which rumor has it they got a new gun coming out, which I'm really excited about. Anyway, can't talk about it now, but 300 Win Mag. Some call it the Lord's Caliber. It'll kill pretty much anything on the planet, so why not just go with that? One gun to kill them all. I love this thing. If you want to see more about this rifle, I did a little video on it and why it ain't your grandpappy's hunting rifle. Super awesome gun, very accurate, a dream to shoot. Of course, I have it topped with a Leupold VX6 HD 4 to 24 by 52 with a custom dial on it. And I love this setup, guys. It's great. And I've already killed quite a number of animals with it in the short amount of time I've been using it. I do have a Stealthy Hunter rifle cover here, although I've been wanting to try that marsupial gear one. That one looks pretty cool too. But the old Stealthy Hunter rifle cover has served me well, I won't lie. So, believe it or not, I'm actually bringing another rifle on this trip. So, Jeremy over at Dead Horse said that there's not just ptarmigan, but a lot of ptarmigan where we're gonna be. And if you've ever eaten a ptarmigan or been to Alaska, you may know that ptarmigan are delicious. They're probably one of the best game meats on the planet, in my opinion. And so I'm actually, believe it or not, gonna bring this Ruger 1022 just to kill ptarmigan. And I'm bringing some subsonic ammo as well for that. And on the note of ammo, Barnes Bullets, one of my best and favorite partners. I'm shooting Barnes Vortex, solid copper. The performance on these things is just unbelievable. They drop animals like you wouldn't believe. Very accurate, and it's a great company. I love working with Barnes. So, if you haven't tried solid copper ammo yet, I highly recommend it. If you're shooting factory, I can't say enough about Barnes bullets. They're amazing. And the people are great over there, based in Utah. So check out Barnes Bullets. I highly recommend. These are the 180 grain TTSX BT, and they call them Barnes Vortex. I dropped 2 mule deer, 2 antelope, and a Coues deer this year. All of them just dead instantly. I think combined 3 steps were taken between all 5 or 6 of those animals. Very deadly ammunition, good stuff. Random note, always carry a couple extra TSA locks in case one breaks, because sometimes they won't let you fly if you don't have all your locks in all the holes. I think that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I wanted to keep this short and dirty. Looking at, it looks like 42 minutes, so still wasn't super short. But if you have any questions about gear, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Please support my partners, Onyx Hunt, Seekins Precision, Barnes Bullets, CVA muzzleloaders, and who am I forgetting? I think that's it. Leupold, of course, how could I forget? Leupold Optics. Support my partners, guys. Keep me in prayer. Keep the show in your prayers. Hope you guys are enjoying this content. Like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out on Instagram at The Hunter's Quest. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'd be happy to answer any of the questions you have. Hope you guys have a great season. Stay safe, and just enjoy yourself, enjoy God's creation, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.